the tendency is that the architecture in a green building is a much more inclusive process, where it's not simply the architect coming up with an idea and then passing it to the engineer, who then passes it to the construction team. It's about really thinking about the building as a holistic building and how it performs. So this is very important because the buildings have to look good, but they also have to perform well, use less energy, have less toxic materials, and be a healthier building. And they also have to have more natural daylight, and it requires a much more inclusive process in the design process.
Buildings that have been built until now were not really taken care of. But we are seeing a lot of interest from people, and a lot of interest from people that they start caring about it. They start realizing that moving to a house, it's not enough in order to have a comfortable living. So moving to a luxury green home, as the one that we have developed, actually it makes a big difference for them. So people feeling that, they actually start asking for it. And at the same time, you have a lot of architects and opinion leaders that are turning towards that. What it made sense, I think, is that initially it was considered something very, very far away, something which was foreign, and people started realizing that this is something that can happen here in Romania. We are developers, and we just finalized the first part of the first green luxury homes in Bucharest. We were actually certified by the Romanian Green Building as a green home. Now, green homes are bringing many advantages to the people that are moving inside. Normally, developers, when they design buildings, they do it for the moment of the sale. A green building is something more than that. It's not just how it looks the moment that you sell the building. It's how the building behaves for the whole lifetime that you will live in the building. This means that having a green luxury home, you are creating an environment which is healthier, more comfortable, and of course much more energy efficient, which you can connect it with the health of the environment. So what we have achieved is having a house which is following some bioclimatic principles and is following the passive house standard. That's a German standard for high energy efficiency. And by combining technology, nature and design, we have created a house which is very comfortable, uses 1/10 of the energy that a normal house is using, and of course it's much healthier to live inside.
The most important thing for people to realize that I think a lot of people don't is that there's a big benefit for human health. It's not just about saving energy and reducing carbon emissions, which that's a big part of it, but also it's about creating indoor environments, the inside of our buildings, that are healthier, that don't have mold issues that, like we've seen in the past few decades, that aren't emitting toxic chemicals that people are inhaling. When you have little kids who have asthma attacks and have breathing issues, a big part of that is because 95% of the time they're spending indoors and the materials are giving off gases that are toxic. And I mean, it might not impact everyone. It might only be people that are more sick or don't have as strong immune systems. But again, we know how to do better, and I think we should be doing better. And it would have a really big impact on society's health as a whole if we started not using any of these toxic chemicals in our buildings anymore.
The most important part is that the building itself and the home itself doesn't impact our planet, and if we minimize the negative impact, because as we have many more people on the planet, and we will be 9 billion people, 8 billion, 10 billion people perhaps in the near future, we have to be very careful about how we build things so we can have a very good life without using up all of our natural resources.